They know they hurt you. Not just in a momentary lapse of judgment, not with something small that could be overlooked, but in a deep and lasting way. And now, they want you to know how sincerely sorry they are. The angels whisper of someone who inflicted great emotional pain upon you, whether through words, actions, or neglect. This wasn't a one-time wound. It's something that stayed with you, something that's made your heart feel heavier each day. You've likely spent countless nights revisiting what happened, trying to understand how someone you trusted, someone you cared about, could hurt you so profoundly. What they did triggered a flood of emotions, doubt, grief, confusion, and even anger. It shook the very core of your identity. You began questioning what you once knew to be true, about yourself, about your worth, and about your place in the world. Moving on has been anything but easy. It's been a battle against intrusive thoughts and relentless inner dialogue. You keep returning to the same questions: why? How? What did I do to deserve this? But there are no easy answers, only a maze of feelings that lead you back to pain again and again. This emotional loop has been hard to break. It's not just about forgiving them. It's about healing yourself, healing from the damage they caused, both seen and unseen. The pain wasn't just in the moment, it echoed into your confidence, your relationships, and even your dreams. They didn't just hurt your heart, they fractured your sense of safety in the world. They made you feel small, perhaps even invisible, as if your pain didn't matter. Yet you've carried on. You've continued to move through life, even when everything inside you felt stuck in time. People expected you to be okay, to function, to smile, to go back to normal, but normal hasn't felt the same since. You often wish you could go back in time to before any of this happened. You wish you could unsee what you've seen and unfeel what you've felt. But here you are, carrying unanswered questions and emotional scars, unsure of whether closure will ever come. And now, they feel it too. They are burdened with remorse. Whether they show it or not, they are haunted by the weight of what they've done. Their guilt is not performative, it's real, raw, and consuming. They've come to understand the magnitude of their actions, and it devastates them. They wish with all their heart they could undo the past. But they know they can't. The damage has been done, and the only thing left for them is to face it with honesty and humility. They want you to know they are sorry, not with shallow words, but with a full understanding of how much they broke. They recognize that saying "I'm sorry" doesn't magically mend what's been shattered. But they're willing to do the hard work, to make amends in any way they can. Their regret is deep, not because they got caught or lost your favor, but because they see now what you truly meant to them. The loss of your light, your laughter, and your presence is something they feel every day. It has changed how they see themselves. Where once they may have felt justified or indifferent, now there is only sorrow. You, on the other hand, have every right to feel conflicted. You don't owe them your forgiveness. You don't owe them your time, your energy, or your trust. What they did changed you. It shifted your world. But you do deserve clarity. You deserve peace. And if allowing them to speak their truth brings you closer to healing, then let it be on your terms. Listen not for them, but for yourself. Not to ease their conscience, but to reclaim your own story. Their apology, if it ever comes, should not be the end of the story, it should be a tool. A tool you can use to rebuild what was broken within you. If you choose to forgive them, let it be because you are ready, not because they expect it. Forgiveness is not a gift to them, it's a gift to yourself, a way to loosen the grip that pain has held on your spirit. But if you're not ready, or if you never want to forgive them, that is okay too. Forgiveness is never a requirement, and healing does not depend on it. Their behavior was never a reflection of your value. It's important you understand that what they did stemmed from their own inner chaos, not from anything lacking in you. Sometimes people lash out because they're afraid of vulnerability, of being seen, of being loved in a way they don't feel they deserve. They hide behind anger or indifference because facing their own emotional wounds is too painful. And in the process, they hurt the very people who care for them the most. That's not your fault. It never was. They wish they could undo the hurt, and they hate knowing they made you question yourself. You were, and still are, a source of light and joy. To know they stole that from you, even briefly, is something they carry heavily. If they could take back every cruel word, every careless action, they would. They never wanted to be the source of your suffering, and yet, that is exactly what they became. Now they want to do whatever they can to help you heal, to rebuild, restore, and repair. But that decision lies with you. You are the one in control now. Your heart, your life, your future, it belongs to you. You have the power to decide who gets access to your energy. You're under no obligation to let someone back into your life just because they're sorry. Sorrow is not always enough. Some doors can close forever, and that is a valid form of healing too. It's possible to accept an apology and still walk away. You can honor their remorse while still protecting your peace. Let your healing be rooted in truth, not obligation. You are allowed to outgrow the people who hurt you. You are allowed to evolve beyond the relationships that no longer serve your soul. Some wounds are meant to be scars, reminders of what you survived, not invitations to reopen old chapters. You have a compassionate, radiant spirit. If your heart draws you toward forgiveness and reconciliation, let it be because it brings you peace, not pain. If welcoming them back into your life feels right, do so with boundaries and clarity. But if that door must remain closed, let it close with grace, not guilt. You have come so far, even if it doesn't always feel like it. You've carried pain, confusion, and grief, and still, you rise. That is something to be proud of. They are sorry. They live with that regret every day. Let that knowledge help lift some of the burden from your soul. But don't feel pressured to carry their pain along with your own. What you do next is entirely up to you. Your healing is sacred. Your heart is precious. You are supported in whatever path you choose. Let me close this with a heartfelt prayer for you. Dear Lord, I lift up to you this wounded soul, this beautiful, tender heart that has carried deep sorrow. Wrap them in the comfort of your divine love. Let your peace fill the spaces where pain once lived. Remind them of their worth, of the beauty that lives within them, even when others have failed to see it. Help them find clarity and strength, especially when facing those who have hurt them. May they be led gently down the path of healing, empowered to reclaim their joy and their sense of self. Strengthen those who have caused pain, and guide them toward humility and genuine change. Allow forgiveness, if it is right. But above all, lead this soul to peace, hope, and wholeness. Amen. There is absolutely no question about the depth of this connection. It is rare, powerful, and profoundly moving. It is imbued with a strong, unwavering sense of attraction, love, passion, and empathy. On every level, emotional, spiritual, and sensual, you and your partner share a bond that is not only deeply intimate but also incredibly resilient. It's the kind of connection that many spend lifetimes searching for, one that seems to defy conventional description or explanation. There is a soul-level recognition here, a knowing that transcends words. The chemistry between you is undeniable, electric, and otherworldly. However, despite the strength of this bond, challenges exist. There appears to be a gap in communication or mutual understanding. You both respect each other and grasp each other's essence at a fundamental level, but misalignments can still arise. Sometimes, external influences, such as social media, interactions with others, or societal expectations, plant seeds of doubt. These stimuli can cause one or both of you to question the authenticity of your relationship, especially in moments of vulnerability or emotional instability. Still, it's important to acknowledge how much you've both already overcome. This relationship has not been without hardship. It has endured storms, misunderstandings, silence, and perhaps even emotional distance. Yet through it all, it has persisted. That endurance speaks volumes. Your intuition, the deep inner voice that has always guided you when everything else feels uncertain, is urging you not to let go, not because of fear, not because of jealousy or pride, and not because of old wounds. Letting go now, especially out of fear of rejection or discomfort with intimacy, would be a betrayal not only of each other but of your own hearts. Instead, this is a moment to choose love. To lean into it. Let your heart lead you through the fear, the insecurity, the pain. Deep within, you already know that this connection deserves another opportunity. It is not something to walk away from lightly. If you approach the relationship with genuine love, whether that means reconciliation, forgiveness, or simply holding space for each other, you will open the door to tremendous blessings and realizations. There is growth here, and not just as a couple. This bond has the potential to inspire you both to fulfill dreams that go beyond romance, into the realms of purpose, creation, and legacy. What sets this relationship apart from any you've experienced before is how effortlessly you can be your true, authentic selves with one another. There's no need for masks, no pressure to perform or impress. You bring out the best in each other, not because you try to, but because your connection naturally calls forth your highest selves. When you're together, you're not just lovers, you're partners, friends, allies, and mirrors. The version of yourself that emerges in this relationship is stronger, more vulnerable, more honest, and more capable. Success is not only possible, it is likely. The path ahead is filled with promise, but it requires continued effort, patience, and faith. Some of you may currently feel lost, betrayed, or emotionally drained. It's possible you've questioned whether you're the only one fighting for this connection. These feelings are real and valid. It's okay to acknowledge them. However, your guides, and your higher self, are gently reminding you that you're not alone. There is healing to be done, and it may involve releasing lingering energy from past relationships or childhood wounds that are unintentionally being carried into the present dynamic. Even so, you are being encouraged to shift your perspective. Look toward the light. Look toward the love that remains, even in the midst of difficulty. Do not let the shadows of the past obscure the beauty of what still exists between you. You two are a power couple, not because everything has been easy, but because you've proven that your connection can withstand pressure and evolve under strain. You've already survived worse than this, and that resilience is part of the reason this bond is so meaningful. The foundation here is not flimsy or superficial. It is strong and steady, built on shared experiences, deep emotional resonance, and an unspoken understanding that neither of you has truly experienced with anyone else. There is an unwavering commitment beneath the surface, even if it hasn't always been expressed in the clearest ways. Both of you recognize each other as soulmates, kindred spirits whose lives are intertwined in ways that go far beyond logic or circumstance. If dissatisfaction or frustration surfaces in the relationship, it is not because the love is lacking. More often, it's due to unresolved issues, old pain that hasn't fully healed, or insecurities that occasionally distort perception. Ultimately, this is not just a physical or romantic relationship. It is a sacred union, a spiritual partnership, a connection that has the potential to transform not just your lives, but the lives of those around you. There is a calling here to continue choosing each other, not in blind idealism, but in conscious, heart-centered commitment. Let love be your guide. Let forgiveness be your practice. Let truth be your language. And most importantly, let hope remain in your hearts. This bond was never meant to be ordinary. It was meant to change you, for the better.